If you want an S on your chest, the first thing you gotta do is represent Jesus. I was just talking to a few of my buddies, friends, cousins, um, of the Brotherhood Kingdom, and just wanted to represent. I'm not all about one particular philosophy. You know, a lot of my philosophies do come from um, a biblical perspective. A lot of times, I'll unconsciously, uh, talk about things biblically without even realizing it. Some of my brothers are making me, or at least making me more aware of some of the things that I talk about. But uh, and that leads me to what the topic is for today, and that is intuition. You know, intuition is probably one of the greatest abilities that God has given us. See, intuition, it's not always going to be right because I rely a lot on my intuition. Me personally, I rely a lot on my intuition when people are talking to me, when people are giving me advice, words, messages. You know, even when I got to make decisions about work, business, relationships, when I'm having conversations, if I want to try to identify if somebody's telling me the truth or they're lying to me, I rely a lot on intuition. But again, it's not always right, but I would say my intuition is probably right the majority of the time. So that's important to develop intuition. See, a lot of times I believe that He speaks to us through our intuition, through our intuition, that voice, that instinct that helps us, you know, um, you know, to identify truth from lie, or what's real from what's not real. So if we can continue to work on our intuition, that's going to be one of the things that is going to help us out greatly in our life, in our lives. Is just listen to your intuition, because that's your instinct. That's the instinct that God gave you to be able to see, feel. It's a feel more than anything. It's to feel uh, what's true and what's not, and that's all we got is our intuition in terms of what is real and what is not real. So let's keep working on that intuition, you know, and let's keep giving God credit for that, because it comes from somewhere. I know I'm not the most, I would say that there's probably people out there that, do a better job of putting God first before I do. But at the same time, I do have a consciousness with God, and I'm working on doing a better job of making God first, as I am now. Like I said, He's the S on my chest. So Jesus is the S on my chest. So, but at the end of the day, we operate sometimes unconsciously, which, uh, it happens to me. But a lot of times I'll say stuff that comes from God and don't even realize it. And at other times I may say something that may not come from God, and then I don't realize it. But a lot of the stuff that I talk about, the intention is always for goodness. So I feel like probably the majority of everything that I talk about probably has a God principle tied to it. Probably God speaking to me in a way that I'm not really aware of at times. But through the intuition, through the instinct, through that voice, if we develop that voice, that intuition, that connection, they were saying about the spirit and how I think the spirit comes through that intuition. That's just my analyzation. The spirit comes through the intuition. So we just get closer and hear that voice talking to us, right? That intuition. Because see, people always say, God is talking to me. And I think I'm understanding it even more now. I think it's God is talking to me through my intuition. I don't think God talks to you from, it's your own voice, but it's your intuition. So let's keep working on that intuition. Let's keep staying closer to God so He can speak to us through that intuition. So that's really what I wanted to talk about today on this Winning Edge episode. You know, the Winning Edge is all about making principles that work in every aspect of life, making them come to reality, and making them more conscious for people, so that we can actually be intentional with what we're trying to do in our lives and not have things happen by accident. We want to be intentional. So with the Winning Edge, that's what this is about, is making things intentional to where we can apply things on a level of consciousness, not unconsciousness. So we can succeed. If we want to succeed, we can. It's not luck. It's not random. It's something that you intentionally created. So, but that's what I want to talk about for today. Thanks for watching my video. Let's work on intuition. It will allow us to get a lot further. Thanks for watching another Winning Edge video with Mike Santiago. I will check you out on the next one.